fresh week begins here at Track Us Down.
Welcome to Track Us Down. If you're just finding us, I'm Monique.
And I'm Doug. Our channel is all about retiring early, moving abroad, and living a better second half of life.
Part of that better second half of life for us is travel. We are traveling around Portugal, exploring Portugal in a rented RV.
In this episode, we've left the Douro Valley after a fantastic wine tasting tour, and we've moved further east. We are in the far east backcountry of Portugal, almost in Spain. We are in the Val de Coa. Paleolithic man lived here. Out here in later fall, it is plus 29, plus 30 for the last few days. It has been so hot, but just a great time to see this beautiful valley.
Many of you have asked us about Leo. He is not with us on this Exploring Portugal journey. We did consider bringing him, and we actually got quite far down the road, including a plane ticket, but ultimately, based on his health, his age, and so many other factors, we decided that he was better off living his absolute best life on Madeira. We have an amazing dog sitter friend, and he enjoys all his pals.
Shoo, shoo, shoo. Shoo, shoo, shoo. Leo. Leo, Leo.
He's living his best life right now on Madeira, and it would have been a nightmare to have him in our little camper van for a 55-pound dog.
Many of you have asked, and we ask ourselves too, why RV over traveling with a rented car and Airbnbs? And you certainly can come to Portugal, rent a car, and drive to all these amazing locations and seek out Airbnbs or hotels. That is absolutely one way to do it. There were many reasons that we chose to RV rather than rent a car and go the Airbnb route. For one, flexibility. In the RV, we can decide on a whim to go left or right, to continue on somewhere or to turn around, and we have nowhere that we actually have to be. And for us, that's really important. Another reason is cost. We feel that it's somewhat cost saving. It's not inexpensive by any means to rent a motorhome or a camper van, but if you look at the costs of the average Airbnb, somewhere between maybe 50 to 100 euro a night, as well as renting a car, is going to be about the similar cost. So our RV is approximately 100 euros a night, and that is our transportation and our accommodation. You apply early, and you can look online for different sites. There's so many to choose from older RVs to newer RVs, and obviously the cost differs, but about 100 euros a night for your transportation, for your accommodation, as well as the ability to prepare food.
And we've seen so many people who have supplied their little Airbnb for 1 or 2 nights but have a ton of stuff left over that they spent a lot of money for. And that's why in the RV it's nice to stock it yourself, have what you want for breakfast, lunch, and maybe go out for dinner without a lot of waste.
We spent a great night free wild camping on the side of the road here in Vila Foz de Coa. They have everything you need here, from the free dumping station to picnic tables to shade underneath the almond trees, and of course an amazing view out over the valley. Here at Foz Coa is one of the free stations that you can use for your motorhome, your RV. It has a beautiful site to pull in or back in and empty your dirty water. And it also has a place for your fresh water, as well as to empty your cassette toilet. It's a very clean facility. Everything you need for a quick stop in a small town here on the outskirts, the frontier of Portugal. They have really nice little public toilets right beside it that are open from 9 till 5 p.m. Very clean inside.
To be honest, we had never heard of the Val de Coa before, but after doing a little research and discussion, we decided it was somewhere we wanted to check out. One of the advantages of driving an RV is that you can head to more remote places like this one.
We are heading to the Val d'Acoa Archaeological Park, and we are so excited to find something so remote and to learn something about prehistoric art. Check this out.
Of course, they have a beautiful cafe at the base of the restaurant. Look at that.
The view from up here is stunning.
We are inside the museum. It's a super modern museum. I think it was built about 20 years ago. And this is where they have replicas of all the different rock art from this area. And they do a really nice job of presenting it to you. We are gonna head out tomorrow and see this in real life on the actual rock. So we're pretty excited about that. Beyond the Romans, back to the Paleolithic time. So that's pretty neat to see. This is a replica that we're gonna hopefully see tomorrow. It's pretty neat to be able to redraw what people all those years ago drew. As a kindergarten teacher, it's an A.
It's probably better than what I could do even 25,000 years ago. We're in some black light corridor, lots of art, but that's just downright scary. This whole wall is made out of schist logs. All placed here and just goes on and on and on. Do they ever look like real logs? This area historically is known for its schist stone. I guess it's like shale. I'm not a geologist, so I don't know all my different rocks. But this was a schist house. A schist log house. It looks like logs, but it's actually stone. And I guess this is what it looks like when a schist house collapses. Wouldn't want to be under there. Oh my God. These are heavy. One log. Let's head out on an actual tour and see some of this 25,000-year-old human rock art. We'll see if it's better than mine.
Is anyone allowed to drive here? So we are down here walking down into the valley where we're going to see some of the drawings from ancient man from Paleolithic times. We started off at the museum and we hopped in a Jeep tour and we drove all these windy roads, and now we are slowly walking down into the valley to start seeing the sights.
Still have a beautiful view. Here in the microclimate of the Coa Valley, we have pistachio trees, and we actually have real pistachios. One nut skin, and then you can open another one, and the pistachio is inside. So now I've seen a pistachio tree in nature.
So this is our first drawing that we're looking at. It's two oryx, which is like an animal that's about 6 times the size of a cow. So there's actually one right here. This is the dorsal, the head, down with the legs, the belly, and the back leg. That's pretty cool.
And here we have some of the early rock art. It's hard to tell a lot of it. You need the drawings from the guides and go to the museum, but it's pretty interesting. They sketched this like 25,000 years ago. They're a little bit hard to see, but they're well worth seeing. Well, that was fantastic. You know, a couple hours out in the valley. It was hot. It was
super hot.
Yeah, like plus 30. Seeing some of the Paleolithic art. It was hard to see some of it, but with a proper guide, you can point out. I mean, let's not forget it's been weathering for 25,000 years. Interesting though to see that somebody was here so long ago and that they were doing art. And where else in the wild can you see Paleolithic carvings of animals? Pretty cool.
Portugal continues to surprise us. We had no idea that something like this was here. But now that we're done, we're heading back to Stealthy here. We're gonna have lunch and we're gonna pack up camp. One of the great things about motorhome travel that we haven't mentioned yet is that feeling of coming home. If it's after a day at a museum or hiking or wherever you happen to be, once you get in that motorhome and you pull the blinds and you light a candle and you start cooking and just chatting or watching a show, you feel like a little part of home is with you. And that is, I think, one of the advantages compared to hotels or Airbnb is that it's all us in there, and wherever we are, we're home, we're together.
That's right. Wherever we're parked, that's our home.
Absolutely.
We've had a great time here up in the kind of the northeast, the north of Portugal. We're going to call that a wrap for this episode. We're going to start heading south now to Serra da Estrela and check out the mountains there in more of the mid-central, east-central kind of area of Portugal. Again, up in the mountains before we start heading back west towards the coast.
Thank you so much for spending a little bit of your day with us. Please like and subscribe to our videos. And as always, check back in and
track us down.